And yesterday, I've held back on this topic because I wasn't sure how realistic it was. And I've got to be honest with you, TJ Watt and the Arizona Cardinals, it sounds kind of far-fetched. I've went back and forth with this, and I put this out on social media yesterday on the old Twitter.com. And I had said, I think I'm out on TJ Watt and the Arizona Cardinals going after him. After further thought, I think I would go after TJ Watt. What worries me, because I'm on record saying multiple times, Trey Hendrickson, I would go after, because I just don't think it's going to cost as much. But when I see TJ Watt want a new contract, I think to myself, are they going to give it to him? Are the Steelers going to give TJ Watt that new lucrative deal that he's looking for? And although recently TJ Watt has been healthy, he has played in the I'm pretty sure every game over the last couple of seasons. I wanted to have this up. But I don't think he's exactly the same player. He played in all 17 games last year. And honestly, he's actually a mostly healthy player. 15, 16, 16, 15, 15, 10, 17, 17. He does kind of fit the Monty Austin-Fort role a little bit. And my guy 8-Bit Digital in the chat, I think I'd rather have Trey Hendrickson. I don't know. I don't like to say I don't know on this show. I'd like to give you guys a hard-hitting opinion. I don't want to sit on a fence. But when I look at the Steelers potentially having to pay TJ Watt after just getting rid of Minka, and the Steelers are doing all sorts of just weird things, but that's what they've been doing ever since Big Ben retired, and even a couple years before that. Depending on the price, I would be all in on the Arizona Cardinals going after TJ Watt. What this Arizona Cardinals team is missing is that bona fide number one player on your defense that you have to scheme around. And that player is always the pass rusher, mostly on the defense. The Cardinals don't have that star pass rusher, and it's like the missing piece, the last infinity stone, if we're talking about Thanos here, to this defense. TJ Watt could be that guy. And I don't want to get caught flat-footed. Not every NFL season is the same. I hate this effing idea that you have to go through the process. You have to be a borderline playoff team, and then you have to be a playoff team, and then you get to win a playoff game, and then you get to make the conference championship, and then you get to make the Super Bowl, and then you have to win the Super Bowl. I don't really care about that idea. That's not a thing. Not every NFL season is exactly the same. It's not incremental growth. You win games, you potentially get to the Super Bowl. Now, I think there's some growth between being a good team like the Cardinals were last year, but just missing the playoffs. But then after that, all bets are off. No one thought the 2008 Cardinals team was going to go to the Super Bowl. Every year it changes. The NFL season is random, parity. So I don't want to get caught flat-footed. What if the Cardinals are awesome this year? What if the defense is awesome this year? And my guy in the chat, Aaron, said, you want to know who didn't follow the gradual playoff plan? The Rams. It's a good point. I mean, forget just that on its own. The Rams were like 1-3 last year, made the playoffs, and are 1 or 2 plays away from beating the Super Bowl champions in the Eagles on the road. The Cardinals have the money to do so, and it's a little bit of a risk. But is it, though? It is TJ Watt. And I know last year, it wasn't a great season for him. He had 11.5 sacks. Whereas when you're talking about Trey Hendrickson, he's coming off of some of his best seasons. So you think maybe he's more in his prime. It's hard for me to believe that TJ Watt wants a massive 4-year deal. I think he just wants more upfront money. So I've changed my mind on this. If the Arizona Cardinals can get TJ Watt if the Arizona Cardinals can get TJ Watt for fair trade value, I wouldn't give up a first-round pick, and I might be hesitant to give up a second-round pick, although that might be what gets it done. So if the Cardinals get him for 1 second-round pick, and they pay him immediately, a 2-year deal front-loaded with a 3rd-year team option, I would do it. Because what the Arizona Cardinals are missing is that last infinity stone, that X-factor player that the other team has to plan around. I love Budda Baker, but I don't think teams are scheming around a strong safety. I just don't think they are. What I would think they would do is plan around TJ Watt, and that elevates everyone else on the defense. And I don't want to get flat-footed. Not every NFL season is exactly the same. We have to be ready for what is to come. What if this is the Cardinals' chance to win a Super Bowl now? What if there's a bunch of injuries? Be ready for it. I don't think what the Cardinals are missing is another wide receiver or another offensive lineman. I think what they're missing, although they have greatly improved from what they were last year, is that star X-factor edge rusher that other teams have to plan around. And so if I could bring TJ Watt into the fold, that is going to elevate everyone else on this defense. And the Cardinals have the money to do so. And they have the capital to trade away. I think it's worth the risk to throw a 2nd-round pick the Pittsburgh Steelers' way. Maybe it's a 2nd and a 4th-round pick. But what if he's the difference between one playoff win and a conference championship appearance? And if that's the case, all bets are off. Look at the Washington Commanders last year. Did you think the Washington Commanders were going to play in the conference championship game? I bet you if they knew that they would be, they would have put more into their roster and not invested in Zach Ertz and, Frankie Louvu. They would have went and got a star player. What are they doing this year? Accumulating stars. Accumulating players on this team. What did they do halfway through the season? Go get Marshawn Lattimore. This offseason, bring in Deebo Samuel. We got the money. Let's do it. Let's be ready to win. I understand this slow cook idea. And in your head, I get it. It seems like the right thing to do. Gradually move up. I'm not there. Let's be ready to do it now. Let's be ready to win now. And so when it comes to TJ Watt, that is a player that I would absolutely bring in if I was the Arizona Cardinals for a 2nd-round pick and pay him up front a bunch of money for 2 years. Don't get caught flat-footed. Imagine what he could do with Jonathan Gannon. Imagine what he could do with Nick Rawlis. These are smart defensive minds. So, if I was the Cardinals, it sounds simple, but the mental gymnastics I just did should play it out for you. TJ Watt would make it for a really good addition on this Arizona Cardinals team.